And with us right now is the board president of United. And this was a busy week for them, is that they had an extra meeting, and their extra meeting was because, well, if they waited, too many things would have gotten pushed off all the way to January. Am I right?
That's correct. You know, we have to, many of the things, especially our new business, it has to go out for 30 days of member comments. And when there's not 30 days between, as there isn't now, between the November and the December meeting, anything we do at the November meeting has to be pushed out until January.
Right.
So we had a number of things that were, the 30 days was over, and we wanted to take care of them, and then the new things that we did first readings on would then be able to go to the December meeting, and we'd get them able to get them done this year.
Right.
It's a juggling act trying to make sure we follow all the rules.
Right, and that's basically what this meeting
right.
was
It was
about.
A business meeting, because our meeting last week, our annual meeting, which was lovely, and had a really great recap of what we had done over the year and that kind of thing, but we didn't take care of any business.
Right.
And there's always business for the board. So, for instance, just the consent calendar, we had 5 architectural alterations, variances that had to be approved. We had 6 liens against members, sorry to say, who were delinquent in their assessments. And we approved 3 chargeable services payment plans for people who were behind in their assessments. So those kinds of things, if you have to push it off for a couple of months, just make it difficult on the residents, because they want it taken care of. In unfinished business, we had 3 things that we were able to pass and get finished with, because they had already had complied with the 30-day notification, and that was the motion to suspend internet and cable connection for those who were more than 60 days behind in their dues. That's the one way in the village to get people's attention. And so what we have had before, we had to go through GRF, and it just took meeting after meeting after hearing to be able to get it done. So now, after our disciplinary hearings, we can do it on our own. We've gotten permission from GRF. So we just had to finalize that. We also had a golf cart parking policy, which is a safety policy more than anything else. And basically it says golf cart chargers have to be 6 inches off the ground, because it's, and that's a state law. That's not just us. It's a safety hazard if you have those kinds of things down where they might get wet and short out, etc. And unattended extension cords. It's great to plug your golf cart in, but we have people that have long extension cords and plug in all kinds of things from their RVs parked outside to power equipment and that kind of stuff. And then they just leave the extension cords there. And again, it's a safety hazard, not just trip, but also it could spark. And what little rain we do have or moisture could get in that.
Yeah, so that's something that people have to deal with. And I know that's been, you've talked about that ahead of time. So that's why
absolutely.
This is completed.
And again, it satisfied the 30-day notification. And then the last one was the 2018 collection and lien enforcement policy. And this is something we do every year. It's no change. We changed the date, and it just needed to go through, and so that we have it for the residents. We have this packet that goes out in November with all of the information for the residents, our budget and our business plan and things like this, the lien policy, the fee policy, all of those kinds of things go out to the members. And many times they just get this nice big package in the mail and they throw it away. I don't want to look at that. But that information is there. It's there for them to see. It's there for them. And we have to redo it every year. So that's what that was. And then we had a motion to amend the financial qualification policy. And basically that still needs to go. That was a first reading. And so it goes to our December meeting. And basically what the changes are in there is we're saying, for instance, a guarantor can only guarantee 1 property at a time. So we do have people who politically correct. Anyway, they are lenders who are out there guaranteeing a number of different loans for their, but they're all on the same financial qualification. And we say, wait. That's, if something happens to them, we could be in deep trouble.
Now, those actual lenders? Like
Sometimes
bank
they
lenders?
are.
Really? Wow.
They're private lenders.
Okay.
They're not financial institutions.
Oh, okay, private lenders.
Right,
Got
they're
it.
private lenders, and they can be family members, but in case there are a lot of times from the real estate industry, things like
Okay.
that guarantee these things.
Okay.
Then we had 4 or 5 new things that came up, and they went on the 30 days, so they will be at our December meeting. And if anybody's interested in these things, that you've got 30 days to let us know on the board. You can do it by email, you can send us a letter, whatever. If you have some thing you want to talk about this, don't wait until the December meeting and come for member comments and then make your comments, because it's almost too late then. So one is a proposed fee schedule for manor alterations. That hasn't changed in years. And it just does not break even. We lost $32-some thousand last year just in that. So we're raising those fees a little bit. Required of a conformance deposit, which is new, we've never had. But we do have contractors who damage mutual property when they're doing these, whether it's landscape or throwing stuff in our waste bins, all kinds of different things. And so a conformance deposit just means that we don't have to go to the trouble then of going after them after the fact. We can say it's going to be deducted from your conformance deposit.
Okay.
It's not a big deal, but it's a very standard thing, and we're putting that in. The thing that's very new is our corporate secretaries who take the minutes and run the computer and everything at our meetings sometimes miss some things. And I know when I was Secretary of United, it's the same way. It's hard to be able to look in all directions and see who did what and who said what, and you miss a little thing or another. And we always had to get together with 3 or 4 of us and say, who really seconded that? Who did this? So the corporate secretaries are going to start recording all of the meetings so that when they go back to do the minutes, they're sure they've got everything the way it's supposed to be. And this basically is a retention schedule that says as soon as those minutes are approved, whether they're committee minutes or board minutes, the recordings are destroyed.
Okay.
We do not keep those forever. And we can't say it's 1 month or whatever, because some committees meet every other month. There's just a varying
so you have to
schedule.
wait till they
So we
satisfy
just
it.
say when the minutes are approved or the report is approved, then we will destroy the recordings.
Okay.
And we don't destroy the videos, which they can get from you all, of all of our televised meetings. And those are always available. And then the other one was we approved or sent to December to approve a standard for windows and window attachments. We have a number of things in alterations. We're trying to take them one at a time that really don't require a big variance.
Okay.
And they should be able to be approved by staff as a standard. And windows are one of those. If you're replacing a window with another window like it, we shouldn't have to go through that whole process.
Okay.
Now, if you're changing the size of the window or the place of the window or adding a new window, that requires a variance.
Okay.
But just the standard replacing, which a lot of people do, putting in the double pane windows or whatever.
So up until this time, they had to get a variance, even
Yes.
if they were just replacing an
Yes.
old window with a vinyl window?
Yes.
Okay.
And so we want to make that a standard so they won't have to go through that. And there are some other things with alterations that are pretty standard and would be for everyone, and we're going to be bringing those forward every time. Then last but not least, we had a motion that was passed to disband the disaster task for the Preparing for Disaster Task Force for United and roll it into the Community's Disaster Preparedness Task Force, which had their great shakeout day yesterday. And Andre Trong has done a fantastic job in recruiting neighborhood captains for United, and I know coming in with his hat, and
Yes,
everybody's seen
he
him
does.
bringing attention to it and everything, but we did not feel that it had to be an ongoing task force, and so we disbanded that
and
for
of
now.
course, there is the one that, the main one
Oh,
that
yeah.
you said.
Oh,
that they can be a
absolutely. We
part
have
of.
a community-wide
Yeah.
one that is,
Right.
and we have representatives on there, and we will continue to recruit anybody who can or would be a building captain to let us know, and that we will continue to do that. But
Okay.
Andre was spending so much time.
He was. He really had a passion for it.
He did, going out, and he's decided that he wanted to spend more time on other committees and doing other things, and I couldn't find anybody else who wanted to put in that time. So we decided we would just roll it up into the
Okay.
community-wide one.
All right.
So, future agenda items. For the December meeting, some of the things that we'll be looking at, we're going to have a motion to increase the assessment late charge, which has not been changed in years. And again, it doesn't cover staff costs. And
Okay.
so that will be coming up as a motion. And we're also going to begin reviewing the management agreement with VMS, because December is when those were signed, and every year for annual
Okay.
review. So we're going to start in November, probably in closed session in November, and then bring it to the open session in December
Okay.
for any changes, thoughts, whatever, for the management agreement with VMS.
All right. Very good. And behind us here, we have the replays. that,
absolutely.
Juanita had requested that we let you know
Yes.
about them.
Thank
and
you.
You can see the first one will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And the reason that they're at different times is because this was an extra meeting.
It was a special
Yeah.
meeting, and we have to admit there was a little bit of a glitch, so that some of our members couldn't see it when it was live.
Right. And I do want to mention that your annual meeting was reshown and all. This was a extra meeting, so that's why you see these different dates.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
All
So
right.
we're really appreciative of VTV and what they do, and all you do for us, and show it, and then just make it available to our residents. So
Well, you are welcome. Of
we
course,
thank
we
you a
have
lot.
it on our YouTube channel as well, so you can
That's
see it there.
right, that's right.
anytime
And if
you
I can
want.
just say with the YouTube, I'm not a real YouTube looker or watcher, I guess, but I've seen a couple, and the difference between now that they're in a high definition
Yeah.
and everything on YouTube,
Yeah.
it looks great.
It
And
really
it's
does.
a really nice advertisement for the village.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was kind of
Right, right. Yeah, it does. It looks a lot nicer.
not so good. So,
Yeah, it's great. So you can always watch it there. And again, these replays of this meeting, the first one will be tomorrow, Saturday at 1 o'clock.
okay.
All right, good to see you.
Thank you so
Always
much.
nice. Have a good
Appreciate
weekend.
coming in. I intend to.
We'll be right back. Yeah, they